way designed to take you from wherever you are right now, wherever you want to be in your career, your financial life, if you're willing to do the work. And lane one of our 3 lanes is our commission sales business, right? You help clients buy, sell, invest in real estate, you get paid a commission, right? The more houses you sell, the more money you make. Let's face it, everybody's got money more. I started my career at Coldwell Banker, and they used to teach me to say, oh, Mr. Coldwell, Mr. Banker actually created real estate industry back in 1906. Nothing changed for about 100 years, right? But when they created that, they also created lane one. Essentially, it's a commission-only sales job with 0 benefits. You can make a lot of money if you sell a lot of houses, but that's it. The second you stop selling, you're out of business. eXp also has lane 2, which is our equity program. We're a publicly traded company. The symbol is EXPI. We give you, as in a gift, we give you free shares in the company for doing crazy things like selling houses in lane 1. Right? The more houses you sell in lane 1, the more stock you get. If you sell a lot of houses in lane 1, you get a whole lot of stock. In fact, we have a system in place. If you choose to participate, you can get a tiny bit of free stock every single time you sell a house for the rest of your career. Lane 2 is designed to help you build wealth while you're making a living over here in lane 1, right? And lane 2 is an exclusive lane. Only eXp agents get that. And you don't have to wait until you retire to sell the stock. You can sell the stock and do what many of us done, take some of the profits in the stock and use that to buy other investment properties, create more income for our lane 1 lifestyle, and also help fund our eventual retirement, right? eXp also has a 3rd lane. We call it revenue share. It's really a referral fee program, right? We all understand referrals. If I send Kyle a referral, he's going to pay me a referral fee, right? Every agent gets that. Well, if I refer an agent to the company, shouldn't the company pay me a referral fee? The answer is yes. Because the company's going to get paid deal after deal, month after month, year after year. Shouldn't I get a referral fee? Deal after deal, month after month, year after year? Again, the answer is yes. And that revenue share program is one of the things where we can really say life changing. You can make as much money as you want. Pat's going to tell you some really big numbers. There's a number of people in here who are getting all of their bills covered and then some. And there's some people that are completely financially free, really between these 2 other programs. And again, all you're doing is the exact same work you would do at any other real estate company. So with that, my job is to tell you about the first part, how we're going to help you be a very successful lane 1 agent. Pat's going to come back up here and tell you about the other 2 lanes and how you can get yourself financially free through those programs. So these are the things we're going to go over, a little bit about who we are. We're going to tell you the tools we give you and show you our business model, which is what makes us completely different. But this is the genius behind the 3-lane superhighway, right? He was very successful in a number of different careers and was looking for a new opportunity. He was already doing some online lead generation because he worked at AOL. And a friend of his told me she had a real estate license. He did. He followed Gary Keller's millionaire real estate agent model to the T. In just 4 short years, he had teams in multiple cities. And he was doing a ton of business. And so by any standard in this industry, he's absolutely killing it, right? 2008 comes along, the market crashes, he finds himself just like every other broker with all this extra overhead. He's like, there's got to be a better way to do this. And so in 2009, he started the first ever cloud-based agent-owned brokerage. The 3rd paragraph is the most important part of the presentation to me. Lend leads and we, the agents, do all the heavy lifting. So we deserve not only ownership in the company, but we deserve to share in the revenue of the company to the extent that we help build the company. Quick timeline of events. Again, started in 2009. 2010, we're in 11 different states. So think about taking your real estate career and being in 11 different markets, much less 11 different states, right? All in 1 year. He could do that because of our cloud office. You have to go get an office in each location, buy equipment, staff it with secretaries and all that kind of stuff. 2012, 11, 12, people started taking notice. 2013, something very important happened. We took the company public. Unlike a big initial public offering that a lot of companies do with a lot of fanfare, just quietly bought a shell company. The stock was literally worth pennies a share, but he did that specifically to give us ownership of the company. And Pat's going to tell you there's a number of different ways you can get stock, and he did that to help us create wealth. Whereas in most other systems, the only people that really create wealth is the guys that own the company, right? Which now, by the way, is us. We own the company. 2015, another award did happen, I got agent program. Pat's going to tell you the details about that. But basically, the short answer to that is if you sell a lot of houses in our market, it's probably what now, about more than 30. You know, you can get there in about 28 to 30 deals. But if you're selling more than 30 houses, you're most likely going to be an icon agent. And your award for that is your entire $16,000 cap back in former company stock. Yeah. We really started growing in 2016. When I joined the company in March of 2016, there were roughly like 1,100 agents. We add that many agents every single week to the company. And we got uplisted to the NASDAQ recently, 73,000, and I'm sure this is actually our name. This is a slide from a couple of weeks ago. We're literally adding over 1,000 agents a week to the company. So this is a slide we have to update on a daily basis. By the way, they've never done this. I've told people, they didn't tell the right people. When you walk into eXp World, what they need is a population sign. They just yes. You know, yeah, just like in the cartoons of Gold West, and somebody gets shot and he goes down. We lost a couple agents. Anyhow, these are all the companies, our countries we're in. We're opening more. Scheduled to open a dozen more countries this year. And the reason that's important for you is all these guys in these other countries are selling houses just like we are, which means our company's going to make more money. Again, you own the company, but you can also earn revenue share on people in other countries, right? Because we're growing in a viral nature. You might tell somebody next thing you know, they got somebody in Spain, right? Pat, you're like, what, a dozen? 11 different countries. Yeah, you know, dozen. Come on, man, make it a dozen. Yeah. So there's people, think about that. There's people in 11 different countries. Yeah, you're right. There's people in 11 different countries that are making a living selling homes, and when they do, Pat gets paid a referral fee because he told some people who told some people who told some people. Right? So that's the opportunity we all have here. We keep winning this award year after year. I don't know how many years the award this is. Our agents love us, our employees love us. It's a great place to work. This slide we need to update with some different information, but what's really important about this, you know, for those of you that know the difference between profit share and revenue share, right? Profit share was created by Keller Williams, and the difference is they pay all their bills first, and if there's money left, they give half of it back to the agents. We take the revenue that comes in, $16,000 the agents pay us, we take half of that and we usually send it back out to the agents. So we have revenue share, which is better than profit share. But we also now have profit share too, right? Every time one of our agents does business with one of our affiliated partners, the company makes money from that. And they just recently announced that they're going to take half of the profits from each one of those operations and distribute it out to the agents through the revenue share organization. So the more people you tell about the company, you're not only going to make revenue share based on the homes they sell, but the more we use these different services, you're going to get paid profit share on that as well. And there's a couple of these things that are so easy. Everybody should be doing it. If you're selling a home warranty, you should be using our home warranty. You fill out a simple form, you make an extra 75 bucks. Utility Connect, it's now, moving up, it's now called Utility Connect. They reach out to your customer with your buyer when they're about to buy and help them set up internet cable. And in some places where they have competing utilities, which I know we don't hear, but in Corpus there's more than one utility company. I sold a house down there, the guy hooked up, I'm gonna get paid every time the guy pays his monthly bill because I get a tiny piece of his electric bill, right? So these are all things that we can be using. Some of them get paid along the way. If you got an international client and they need to transfer their money, if you use our currency exchange, we get paid directly for that. But all of these companies, if we all start using them as agents of eXp, the company's gonna make more money, which is great because you own the company, but half the money they make is gonna be distributed back out to the agents. So this is gonna be a huge deal, and the more we use those services, the more it will benefit. These are the tools we give you to be successful. eXp World is our office. We're gonna show you that. SkySlip, just the paper management system, very simple. Workplace by Facebook is basically a second office, and I'm going to share something new about that. KB Core, a lead generation tool, Andrew's going to come up and tell you about that in a second. We got over 80 hours a week of live training. So if you're brand new to the business and you have no idea what to do, we can teach you that. If you want to go to the next level, A lot of our training is taught by our icon agents, the top agents across the country who get that award back. And part of their part of what they need to do in order to receive all of that award is to give back. And me, I'm doing that through teaching classes. So you can learn from people all across the country who do hundreds and thousands of deals a year to take your business to the next level. So this is our world. You make a little avatar that looks like yourself. But if you want to go to one of the live trainings and there's 20 people in the room, kind of you got here, you've got a question, speak up and ask your question. This is just like in real life. If you go to the training in the auditorium, there's 500 people. It's gonna be kind of hard maybe to speak up and ask your question, just like in real life. But you got live people there training. The specialized departments, we've got accounting, marketing, technology. Something I just realized recently. Because I haven't been in it in a while, but if you go to the technology department, and you've got a problem, you got a computer virus on your computer, they will help you with that. It's funny, I know we used to say that back in the day, and I said that to one of the technology guys, and he was like, yeah, people keep saying that. That's not really true. Like, well, now it's true, right? I guess it happens so often, they're like, you might as well do this. So there's all kinds of things like that where they're there to help you. You got marketing questions, go to the marketing department. If you got a brokerage question, you go in there, you click on the state of Texas, you walk in, and within a couple of minutes, you're sitting in front of the broker getting your question answered. None of this driving to the office, waiting in line, all that kind of stuff. So there's a lot of benefits to that. eXp Enterprise, that's basically our back office. You can see how many deals you've done, how many more deals you have to do cap, how much free stock have they given me, how much revenue share am I getting. Everything about your business you can have right there at your fingertips. It's also kind of a one-stop shop for everything else you need to know. One of the things I was talking to one of my agents earlier today, and he's asking me, you've been around for about 4 years, and he's asking some really basic questions about eXp. I'm like, man, go to the enterprise, click on eXp Explorer, and it gives you all the ins and outs of the company. Right? You want to know the details of how much stock you get and when, just go in there. There are no secrets here. You just got to go look for the information. SkySlope, again, very big, simple paperless system. So you turn in your paperwork online. If everything's correct, you get green lights. If you're missing something, you get a red light. You fix what's missing, you get all green lights, and you pay to close it. It's the simplest thing I've ever done compared to the other companies, and it really is seamless. Workplace by Facebook. Looks and feels exactly like a Facebook page, but it's basically a second office. So anybody you can get in touch with in the world, which you kind of got to log into the world, if you know who you're looking for, you just go send them a message, chat message in your workplace, right? One of my agents in Savannah, I've mentioned a number of times, he's gotten, I don't know, 12, 15, he's probably over about 20 referrals, agent referrals. And here's what he did. He went in and he just treated it like Facebook. He started a Savannah group in there where he's promoting his listings and stuff. And he's got a bunch of information in there, just like you would post on Facebook. And he's got agents. So we have a referral network in the system. A lot of times people go to the referral network and say, hey, I need an agent in Savannah. And everybody starts responding. Well, because he's basically kind of advertising himself as the Savannah agent, people are calling him directly or clicking and saying, hey, I want to join your Savannah group, even though I'm not in Savannah, because I need to send you a referral. So little hack for you if you want to take the time to do that. It's worked really well for him. He's gotten a bunch of referrals. In fact, he's working about 5 of them right now, agent to agent. CRM and lead generation tool. I'll bring up my buddy Andrew, who's the resident expert and teacher of
So CRM is a customer relationship management tool. It drives, we build squeeze page, landing pages, all that. You set it up. We have it pretty well set up now. Every class got a little bit better. We have a pretty good system now. Pretty much you set it up so your website, your KB core, your website. They want to get pre-approved, we have a link to your lender. If they want to get a CMA, they go there, they have a link. Anything they want is connected. You can put all your vendors on your website. Everything is there. And all that is just loaded up. So if someone says, I need a home warranty, they just go, they click, you have the home warranty link we're talking about. Would be right there, they click, they apply, if you did. And you can be a one-stop shop with your KV4 right there. Just now the other thing for the lead gen, just real quick, I had 2 agents reach out to me. One young man, the young man you sponsored, Blake, he reached out to me that Lillie sponsored, and he said that he's been just posting some of the free stuff that we teach in KV4. He capped in 3.5 months just by doing that. Yeah. That's about, he did about 3 million, about $1 million a month or 2.5. That's all free. You didn't pay for any leads. I had another young guy, he just sent me 2 days ago. He texted me and said, hey, just from the K-4 classes, he's closing 2 this month. He just sent 5 more people to his lender, and he has 5 more that are about to be ready to start either buying or selling. So he said, it's just, again, he let these people take the time and they did the work. So we can show you how to do it. If you don't do the work, you're gonna waste your time. So I mean, make sure you do the work and you do it, and we'll show you how to do it. And it's a free class. We do it at Envision Title and Capital Title. So I'd love to get it this month. We're already full. We're half full already for next month. So we do have a waiting list. So if you want to do it, I have a sign-up sheet. You just scan it. If you want someone to do it for you, Griff always said in mine. I never talk about it. He always said in mine. I tell people that people do hire me to do it for them. I just talked to a guy who picked me up for California. I just went to Dallas 2 weeks ago, and I taught a big team, a really high producing team up there. We sat one-on-one, and they liked me so much I came a week again after that and did some one-on-one training for their clients. So we love, and I don't know if you guys were here last week, we had Richard here, or Patrick, he just had Icon last week. I just sat down with him and his fiance wife, and we set him up. And he just did a $70 million deal for the land, right? So yeah, it's exciting. So it's a really good system. You just have to use it. If you don't know how to use it, we'll show you how for free. And if you want to apply it to your direct marketing, we can build you. The last couple of people we built out their Google My Business, we show them how to use Google in their marketing now as well. I know you can talk to Patty as a company he's working with, and they'll post for you every day. Even the small package will post every day for you. So we're building that and connecting that as well. So the things we offer, take advantage of it. It's all there. A lot of it's free, and then we can show you how to use it. So great.
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah. So here's the thing, like I said, if you use it, if you learn it and use it, it'll work. If you don't have any money, you got time, you can do it for free. And if you got money and don't want to take the time, pay Andrew a few bucks to get it set up, right? So either way it will work, and you just gotta keep up with it. Showcase IDX, this is something that's being rolled out across the country. It looks and feels like a Zillow, Trulia kind of app, and that's exactly what it is. Designed to keep your customers and others to search on our app and drive more traffic back up you. More on that to come. That's being rolled out. I don't think we have it here yet, but it's coming. Marketing and branding, for those of you that might be brand new to the business, the most important thing I can tell you is to brand you is you. Right? When I started at Coldwell Banker, man, it was all about Coldwell Banker. You just happen to be the agent. You're doing it to get your number, name and number on the sign instead of the office number. Right? That's the complete opposite. You want people to think of you when they think of real estate, and quite frankly, it doesn't make any difference which company you're with, because they could care less, right? So market you as you. We've got thousands of pre-made marketing pieces already in there. All you got to do is go a couple of clicks, add your photos, add your basic details, hit print. My wife just did some the other day with some flyers that we did for a house, and you sent them over to Office Max over here. They printed them out for us. Just took a couple of minutes. So all that's kind of done for you. I'm going to give you a business card when you sign up. A couple other things to kind of get you going. eXp actually has healthcare, real healthcare. And for those of you that don't have it elsewhere, by the way, NAR says about a third of realtors don't have healthcare. So you talk about Russian roulette, right? You're out there just hoping you're running around hoping you're not going to get sick, get in a car wreck or whatever. We've got really great health insurance, and there's different levels and different kind of things that you can do depending on your situation. So get with them. Brandon's not here today, but I always say Brandon can be wrong. You got the young, healthy guy version. He's saving lots of money. I got the older, not the healthy guy version, but I'm still saving lots of money. This right here literally is saving my wife and I about $5,000 or $6,000 a year compared to the crappy self-employed insurance we've always had. So that's a huge deal. And there are many agents who are joining eXp just because of that. So make sure that they know about it. So this is our business model. This is what makes us different. We've all seen how technology has changed these things, right? Blockbuster's been put out of business by Netflix streaming technology. Amazon's in the process of doing that to everybody in the retail world because it's just easier, faster, cheaper to buy things online. And quite frankly, eXp is in the process of doing it to the brick and mortar companies, right? So much of the overhead that these companies have is because of their brick and mortar offices and their franchise system and the royalties and all the different levels of people that they have to pay that we don't. right? So we have money to share back with the agents with all this technology we give you, all the training we give you. That's how we can afford to give you the revenue share back. That's how we can afford to give you free stock because we've eliminated all the expenses associated with the traditional brick and mortar companies. If you think about the technology is what caused the change, but what's really changed in these cases is your customer experience. My customer experience at Blockbuster was sometimes frustrating, right? They didn't have the movie that I wanted. I swear I was going to take it back and not pay the late fee. Argue with my kids about how much candy we're going to get, right? And then Netflix comes along, you push the button, you just better, faster, easier, cheaper. By the way, how many of y'all have seen the documentary, The Last Blockbuster? Kyle, where'd you see it?
On Netflix.
Yeah, so that's a little bit of irony there, right? Anyway, so that's what's making this different. And again, what's really different at eXp is my customer experience. I started my career at Cold Bank and then moved to Keller Williams, and I was perfectly happy at both of those companies. There really wasn't anything wrong with them, right? I saw the eXp opportunity, and it's literally changed our lives financially. And so my customer experience is so much better here, right? I don't need any support when it comes to doing deals because I've been doing it long enough. So I didn't really get that or need that anywhere. But when you do the same deals, get more of the commission and get hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of stock and get the revenue share and all the other opportunities that come along with our company, my customer experience here is much, much better than what before. We're not a franchise system, so again, we don't have all those overhead locally. You're not locally confined. If you think about the overhead, you know, you got a franchise. You got a franchise, usually an office manager or broker or whatever. You got the franchise owner. There's a regional guy above the franchise owner that owns regions of the company, and then there's the owner of the company. All those people have to get paid. And it's just like any other big corporation where they have, you know, all these different layers of management. We eliminate all those levels, and that's why we can make the agents owners of the company. The live training we talked about, real-time support. You just walk in and get your get service. And Pat's going to come up in a minute and tell you about the power of the revenue share and the stock programs here. So if this is the first time you've seen this, feel free to take a photo of it. This is the deal that everybody gets at eXp, which, by the way, this is not true at your local franchise office. When I was a KW, I had a standard deal. I found out after a while it wasn't so standard, right? I was paying a standard deal. By the way, I met with a guy who did like 80-something houses, and he's paying a standard deal. And then I met with a guy who was doing 10 deals, and he's paying about half of the standard deal because he said he was going to leave, right? So the loyal soldiers are the ones being punished. Anyhow, 80-20 split with a $16,000 cap. And after that, you go to 100% commission. There is a $250 transaction fee on the next 20 transactions, but you really want to pay those transaction fees because if you do that 20 times, that's what makes you an icon agent. You're not going to get your entire $16,000 cap back in a former company stock. It's $149 your very first month when you start up. That gets you the business cards, access to KB4, access to the world, everything we talked about. After that, it's $85 a month. There is a $25 brokerage fee on each transaction to keep you compliant and turn your paperwork. Sky Sells has got a brokerage fee that reviews it. And there's a $40 risk management fee, but that caps at $500, and that's very important. It's one of those small things where people don't pay attention to it. But at the other two companies, I'm paying $75 per transaction. I had now gone up to $85 and $95 per transaction with those companies, but it never ended. And at the end of the year, we were doing about 40 deals, 40, 50 deals at that time. We're like, that's getting $3-4 grand on E&O. It's like, that's just what they said it cost. We didn't know anything. Here it's only $500. So if by chance you're looking at that and thinking, well, that sounds kind of expensive because I'm at a 100% commission place, or I'm at a 90-10 split or whatever, you need to listen to what Pat's going to tell you, because there's many agents at eXp who make well over 100% of your commissions. And I've had arguments with a lady from Colorado, and I said, well, I make over 100%. No, you don't. I said, no, I make over 100%. I said, you can't. Let me show you how. No, I don't want to see it. But anyway, you can make well over 100% of commission. You factor in all the other opportunities, right? The 75 bucks on the home warranty, the revenue share Pat's gonna tell you about, the free stock. When you add all that stuff back in, the stock you get at a discount, Pat's gonna tell you about. Add all that stuff back in here, and you can say, well, what was my total compensation package, right? In every other company, your compensation package is, this is your commission, and this is how much of it you get to keep. That's the end of the compensation package right here. Here we got all these other things. So with that, I'm gonna turn it over to my buddy Pat. Awesome. Yeah.
He's a funny guy, and he will definitely make you laugh. But what you guys did, good stuff, huh? I love it. I love it. All right, so real quick, before I introduce myself and get into the revenue share of stock, I want to share this quick testimonial because this is very powerful. Just like what Griff was saying, know your numbers. We were doing a live Zoom call with Kyle and Curtis. This was probably 2-3 years ago. We called the Tuesday Executive Overview. We've got a lot of agents that are interested, not just here in San Antonio, but all across the country. So we were trying to spread the word through a powerful Zoom call we used to do several years ago. And Kyle got to this point and he said, hey guys, if you're a special guest, take a picture of the screen here. And I had a special guest on there from Florida. She was a newer agent, 2 years into the business. She was with a boutique brokerage firm. And she reached out to me via LinkedIn and said, hey, I see that you're with eXp. I'm starting to see a lot of signs pop up in my neighborhood. Would you be willing to share a little bit more about it? I said, absolutely. Why don't you be my special guest on our live Zoom webinar? It's about 99% visual, and we'll share the model with you. So we got to this point. Kyle said, hey, take a picture of this and run your numbers. And so she did. After the webinar, she sent me a picture, and I said, hey, she sent me a text, hey, let me run my numbers. About 15 minutes later, she sent me a text back. She goes, OMG. I said, how much was it? Pick up the phone when she called me. She was like literally in tears. I said, well, how much was it? She goes, you would not believe, you're right. If I would have done the exact same revenue, the exact same production, $5.5 million that she did at her boutique brokerage firm over here at eXp, I would have made an extra $43,000. Wow, that's what I said. I was like, ooh. I said, well, are you ready to join the eXp family? She said, absolutely. Now she just hit icon agent. She got her $16,000 cap back in the form of company stock, and she's loving life. She's like, this is amazing. Just for doing one thing, switching from her boutique brokerage firm over to eXp, right? So very powerful. Love it. Thanks for doing that, Kyle. That's absolutely amazing. All right, so a little bit about me real quick. Pat Hayes here in San Antonio. I've been selling real estate for 9 years. Started my career also at a small independent boutique brokerage firm. First year, I did $3.2 million in production. Second year, I really found my passion selling real estate, so I wanted to leverage myself and start a team. Created Pat Hayes Group. Second year, we did $12.5 million in production. And then I ended up getting a life-changing phone call 73 months ago. Everybody makes fun of me because I still track the months because every month gets better and better and better. And so Scott Lewis called me December of 2015, wanting me to have an open mind to take a look at a new business model that was disrupting the real estate industry and changing the way that agents were being compensated. I said, sure, I do have an open mind. And so for those of you that whenever I first started the presentation, I said, have an open mind today. You never know that this opportunity can change your life. And so since I saw this entire business model by Gene Frederick, Rob Flick, and Scott Lewis back then, I saw that we could share the model with like-minded individuals. I saw that we could acquire stock. I saw that everything that Griff just shared with you guys. And I said, this is a no-brainer. I don't want to be left behind. This is the future of real estate. So I joined. I moved my small little team over from that boutique brokerage over to eXp. And since then, I've been able to personally sponsor, I'll take that slide, now 56 agents in the organization. Out of those 56 agents, it's grown into very close, almost close to 4,700 agents, spanning the 47 states, 5 Canadian provinces, and 11 countries, paying me a revenue share check last month of over $123,000 for 1 month. Yeah! Yeah! And I don't share the numbers of brag, I share the numbers that whenever I say life changing, that's what's changing my life. I can't go to Century 21, Coldwell Banker, Remax, Keller Williams, all great companies, and do that. I can't build that because they don't have the platform, they don't have the model to build that. Right? Nothing bad about those companies, but Glenn Sanford is a genius and he's built that, and it's really changing the industry. So that's a little bit about me. But let's get into the stock real quick. So eXp is our ticker symbol. We are uplisted to NASDAQ. Whenever I joined the company in December of 2015, we had 805 agents nationwide at the company. I'm agent 806. Now, just like what Griff said, we have 73,000, probably more like 75,000, maybe 76,000, because we are growing at about over 1,000 agents every single week. Not a month, not a quarter, every single week. And so I saw this opportunity, and I saw that I could truly really build wealth as a realtor by doing what I was already doing at that boutique brokerage firm, attracting agents, selling real estate, capping every single year, right? And so G. Brennan said, you can do this, and you can actually acquire stock for already doing what you're already doing. So we'll show you how. And the stock was a little penny stock whenever I joined eXp, 62 cents a share. Everybody laughed. It's a penny stock. It's not worth anything. It's not going anywhere, right? And I've seen it go from a penny stock up to the NASDAQ as high as $175 a share, get split, and then go back down. Yes, stock is stock. It goes up. Whatever goes up can't go down. Whatever goes down can't go up. But I saw this. I saw the opportunity, and I've seen the stock. It's a very healthy stock, right? And I love my eXp stock. So how do you get it? So we have our sustainable equity plan. Earn shares of stock on your first transaction every single year. So what does that mean? So my anniversary date, it resets every January 1st. I joined December of 2015, so my anniversary date starts the next month, January 1, all the way till the end of the year, December 31st, right? And so every single year, whenever I close my first transaction after my cap resets, the company gives me shares of stock for doing what I'm already doing, selling real estate, my passion, my livelihood. It gets better. Earn shares of stock whenever you fully cap. What does that mean? Whenever you plug into the tools and the trainings and the system that Griff was just sharing to sell a lot of real estate, and you do your 80-20 split, you pay your $16,000 to eXp for your cap. That means you cap, and the company's going to reward you shares of stock for capping, right? It gets better. Earn shares of stock whenever an agent you sponsor closes their first transaction, right? So whenever you bring an agent to see the opportunity, they want to join eXp, you sponsor them, and you help them sell real estate, help them close their first transaction. You get to go awarded shares of stock as well too. So that's our sustainable equity plan. And I want to bring up my good friend Jay real quick because Jay's awesome. I always like to ask this question because I always like to put them on the spot. I know the answer, but Jay, let's tell the group a little bit about your success at eXp. How much stock you guys have acquired? What you guys are doing with it? And how much stock did you earn at your previous company? I'll let you share the answer.
Thanks again, Ben. It's a softball question, right? Because I had zero stock in my previous company. But the reason I answered the question is because I was the broker owner of my previous company. But yeah, I mean, what he's saying, you see all that, it's absolutely true, right? You're gonna sell houses, they're gonna give you more shares of stock, and it's just gonna, you're gonna do it anyway, and you're gonna end up in a much better place. I mean, for at least, we've got thousands of shares of stock, and it's worth, 6 figures worth of money in cash. But and that doesn't count the stock we've already pulled out. We pulled out enough to buy a house, cash, just to buy a we could have never done it before. It's just, we're gonna sell. We're not like icons. We're not kicking butt. We're selling our 20, 30 houses a year, coasting really.
Well, God, because we
just do it because at some point you're gonna want to own something of your business, right? And if you're not doing this in 20, 30 years, whenever you walk away, you got nothing. You just pack up your desk and no matter. That's it. Yeah. That's what I would say. Go do it.
Reward program. What does that mean? So agents that are doing a lot of business, right? They're doing a lot of selling 40, 50, 60, 70, 100, 200, 300, 500, 1,600 houses. Yes, the Franklin Group over in Houston sold 1,600 homes last year. Amazing, right? So I actually got to sit on the Icon Agent Vetting Committee my first 3 years at eXp, and you get to vet these agents and ask them, interview them, how did you do this? What did you do? Do you mind sharing it? If they want to share it and give back to all the agents, because if we grow this thing together, then we all win by stock, right? And so these agents are capping and selling another 20 houses by themselves, and then you can actually get vetted, and you can get your full $16,000 cap back in the form of company stock every single year. And I know we've got a few other icon agents here. I'm going to bring in my good friend Kyle Haney because I haven't seen him in a long time. Icon agent, I'm going to let them share how awesome this is. And again, I'll ask you this question, Kyle, how much stock do you have in this company? I'll let him share it.
Thanks. Yeah, I didn't have any either. I was like Jay over there. And so I did own a broker, but it wasn't no stock. And so, yeah, luckily nothing came to eXp. We restarted the whole thing in 2017. Wished I would have started a year earlier in 2016 when Pat first told me, and he actually told my mom, so he's sitting right there in the front. Well, I was pretty stubborn, and I was, pretty, I thought for sure I was doing the right thing, having my own brokerage, and there was nothing better, right? But now, I mean, you're at eXp 4.5 years later, there's definitely something better, right? This is the ticket. And sure enough, I hit Icon. When I first moved over to eXp, my anniversary was like April to April, and so in April of 18, I was an Icon. And I think the stock back then was like $3 a share. And so you do the math, I mean, like at $16,000, that was 5,000 shares. Then our stock split, so that's 10,000 shares of stock. Today, just for that one time of hitting Icon, the stock today is at like just around $30 a share. That's almost $300,000 for hitting Icon one time. So I've got like 26,000 shares of stock from eXp. But I've not cashed in any of the stock. I feel that we are headed towards some great things.
Yeah.
So I'm not even looking to sell it, at this point.
Which is bad, but you sold it at $175.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think at one point in time, yeah, I mean, like my stock was like, I looked at it, it counted to like $2 million. I was like, oh my God, I'm 35. I never would have ever thought like I would have that.
Multi-millionaire!
So, so that has definitely impacted my family's life, what we're able to do and what we're able to not have to do now, because I remember the days when I had lots of credit card debt and, lots of overhead to run my brokerage. It was just a stressful time. Now it's like, hey, I can run my life and my business how I want, not because of like necessity, but because of abundance and knowing that, hey, I'm covered. So I think that's the biggest thing.
Oh, yeah, let's get it. Wow. Every single year, you become an icon every single year. Like our good friend Elizabeth Wiley up the street up in Austin, Texas. She was with that great company Kelly Williams for 13 years, and she came to eXp strictly just for the icon agent program. She didn't really care about the revenue share back then. Now she does, but she just really came for the icon program. She's been an icon 7 times in a row. Wow. She's been here 7 years every single year. She's been here 7 icons. She's got her 7 caps. Back in the form of company stock. And she was with that great company, Keller Williams, for 13 years. Every single year that she capped, Gary Keller, they lived together up in Austin, would take her to a restaurant and give her a signed a hat that says capper, signed by Gary Keller. She told me she's got all 13 of them up in her office. And she goes, I've got 13 Gary Keller hats, the capper hat signed by Gary Keller. Now I've been here at eXp for 7 years. I've got 7 icon awards, 7 caps back in the form of company stock. Now it's worth over $25 million. What would you rather have? 7 caps or 13 caps signed by Gary Keller, or would you have $25 million in eXp stock? I know what I would have. Right? So powerful. It's just like doing one thing, switching from one brokerage firm to eXp. That is it. She didn't have to buy a franchise. She didn't have to buy a region, no territories. That was it. Right? Truly powerful. All right, our last one is the agent equity program. What is that? I always like to tell the agents, it's like a 401k, right? So you can opt in, you don't have to, you can opt in and take 5% of your commissions and buy the stock at a 10% discount every single transaction that you do. You can do 1 transaction a year, 1 a month, you don't have to do any of them, you can do them all like I've done. And truly build wealth as a realtor. You're truly building a little nest egg for retirement, right? Just like what everybody says, just like what Jay says, and everybody, whenever you're done selling in the traditional real estate model. You pack up your office and you're gone, you're done. Or if you sell your book of business, which a lot of agents don't really keep that book of business, you can sell that as well too. But a lot of agents are only as good as their last sale, they're done, right? This truly gives an exit strategy for yourself and for your family. All right, so that is our stock right there, the equity opportunities. Go check us out on NASDAQ. EXPI is our ticker symbol. Not sure what we're trading at right now. I think the last time I looked, it was around, what is it now? 29. 29 right there. So not bad. Again, right? I've seen it go up. I've seen it go down. I'm not saying go and buy it. I love it. And that's all I'm going to say. Right. So, all right, so go check us out. All right, so next full disclaimer, I'm going to talk about the revenue share. These numbers are really big. I'm going to share with you guys some of my numbers, only to motivate, not to brag. I'm going to share some other agents' numbers as well. And we're going to do a testimonial as well too for an agent in here that's absolutely killing it and really earning some great income. As I like to say for the special guests, would your broker give you money for helping them grow their business? Probably not. Right? Whenever I was at my boutique brokerage firm, my broker gave me Starbucks gift cards for helping them grow their business, right? Not revenue sharing, right? So ask yourself, when was the last time that your current broker, if you're a special guest here, paid your mortgage payment or paid your car payment? Right? I tell those agents that all the time. They kind of look at me like deer in the headlights, like that's crazy. Well, I'm going to share with you how eXp can do that, right? So single agent revenue share. Okay, so let's just say, for example, let's just say I personally sponsored Bob Lillie, right? I wish I did, but she's
Hey,
like, I think she's on my third or fourth level or whatnot. But let's just say I brought her to an event here and she says, you know what, I'm all in and I sponsor her. So for me doing that, she's gonna pay an 80-20 split for every single transaction that she does, right? So the company's gonna give back 3.5% of the gross commission up until the company pays me $2,800, right? So not bad, right? So check this out. Here's a little example. So let's say you recruited John Smith. John closes a home with a sales price of $300,000. John's commission is $9,000. The next month, you'll automatically get a direct deposit into your bank account for up to $315. You keep getting paid on all of his deals until he caps. The next year, the money rolls in all over again, right? So not bad, right? So $350, hey, maybe that pays for, a nice dinner, maybe a car payment, maybe some marketing dollars, towards your, your marketing budget, whatever, right? But not bad. Just by introducing one agent to the company who sells one house, right? For $300,000. So it gets better, right? So while Lillie Handy is here and she wants to bring all of her prospects and we want to help her be successful, we want to help her grow her revenue share, because Glenn Sanford says if you sponsor agents and you go help them with their agents, I'm going to pay you more. I'm going to pay you up to $3,200 for every agent that falls on my tier 2 in her tier 1, right? So you want to be that sponsor that helps them out, right? That's why we do this, right? Griff and I, we don't get paid to do this. We're not on corporate payroll. We do this for one, we like to do it, we enjoy doing it. For two, we want to help grow this company, right? I think we're still number 2 here in San Antonio in production, and we're getting ready to be number 1. And whenever we become number 1, we're gonna do a big part. Yeah. So not bad being at the very bottom of the list a few years ago and now being number 2, right? And so we want to help grow this company. That's why we do it. So Glenn Sanford says, if you help grow your agents, I'm going to pay you more, up to $3,200, right? So I wrote it down. And again, guys, we're not a multi-level marketing company. We're not a direct sales company. We're a real estate brokerage firm. But you have to have your license, your real estate license, and we're paid off referral fees, which is revenue share, right? So we're paid off in tiers, 7 tiers down. And then the number in the middle, the potential, maximum potential revenue share per capping agent that the companies get a payout. And then the numbers on the right, personal qualifying agents needed to unlock all those different levels. I know that's a lot of numbers here, but I broke it down. And I talked to a lot of agents. I say, listen, if I could help you make an extra $94,000 a year in passive income from the revenue share model, would you be willing to talk to a few agents? Would you be willing to invite a few agents to the lunch, to a webinar, to watch the video, to make an extra $94,000 a year? They said, absolutely. We have a lot of realtors here in San Antonio that don't even make $94,000 a year selling real estate full time, on top of your, much less on top of your production and on top of your stock. So how does it work? So let's say we failed and we have a 5-year program and we only attracted 1 agent a year for 5 years. So we're gonna have our 5 agents in our first year and we're gonna help them cap, get them selling a lot of real estate. For each capper, is we get paid $2,100 times that by 5, that's $14,000. Well, Glenn said, if you go help those 5 go do the exact same thing, help them get their 5, I'm gonna pay you more. I'm gonna pay you up to $3,200 for every agent that falls under tier 2 that caps. Again, they don't have to cap for you to get paid. They can do that 1 deal, 2 deals, 3 deals, whatever. This is just a perfect world, right? And so we're gonna help those agents cap to get paid $3,200 times 25, that's $8,000 added up. That's $94,000 a year in passive income from the revenue share, which is 30 agents, right? Not bad. What is that? $7,700 a month. Who would want that? Every realtor. That's passive income. Right? That's passive income, much less on top of your production and on top of your stock. So check this out. I didn't know how big residual income was until I sat down with Gene and Rob and Scott. I was saying, how much really is that worth, right? What is that $94,000 worth? If I build that, what is that worth? I said, Gene Frederick said, that's like having an apartment complex that's free and clear that you bought cash for $1.566 million. That cash flows you $94,000 a year, $7,700 a month. I said, wow, not bad. Ask yourself this question if you're a special guest. If I stay with my current real estate broker, how long will it take me at my current pace to save $1.566 million? Even if you could save after taxes and normal living expenses $94,000 per year, it would still take you 17 years. I would rather go talk to 30 agents in 5 years to go build the exact same thing. Guys, this is powerful. What Glenn Sanford has built is changing the industry. It is changing agents' lives, right? And I'm going to share with you guys my numbers here in a second, but I'm going to bring in my good friend Andrew real quick, because not only is Andrew, but we sell a lot of attracted a lot of agents, and I want to kind of just have you share with the group. I know there's a lot of agents out there making a lot of money, but just to get an extra $500 a month, $1,000 a month, $2,000 a month, $5,000 a month is life-changing. That's not just realtors, but to anybody. So share your little success story real quick about what you're doing, what you're growing, and how big your venture is now. Let's give it up for Andrew.
I've been in about 22 months now.
There you go. Yep.
A little under 2 years.
I'll never forget that meeting at Jim's.
Yeah, I met that actually. Robert Seckley, who brought me my sponsor. I'm a scientist. That's my whole life. I'm super anal. Everything I have to see the numbers, everything I have a cost benefit ratio. All I have masters in science and all this math stuff. So I'm super bad at it. So I sat down with Robert, and I was like, well, this sounds good, but I was a boutique broker, had a really low split, I had a team, I was doing great, I thought. I was like, I'm doing great. My broker never got me anything besides a little bit of that. Good job, pat on the back. And then I sat down with Pat, and he showed me the revenue share calculator. And I was like, okay, that makes sense. This is something I want. And then being stubborn, I'm a New England guy, I'm a New Englander stubborn. So I was like, okay, I'm still gonna think about it. And then in my college, one of my professors, she's a multi-million-dollar coach that traveled around the world inviting business people to learn. So I sat down and asked her, I said, what do you think? What do you think about the model? And she was like, you're an idiot, go join. And I was like, what? She's like, go join today. And I was like, okay. So after talking with Pat, so I did that. I've been sharing this out. Like I said, I've only, this being a lot of training, I only did like a 1.5 million. Last year, a little over 5 million. So I'm kind of, just kind of motivated. This is the weekend, makes it mostly a lot of kids. Doing good, sharing it. My best year in revenue sharing, Pat has some crazy numbers, but the more, like I said, the more normal, like human numbers of normal people. My best year, my best month, so my first one was like $150. And I was like, whew, I got some money. I was like, what am I going to do? Maybe we're going to go out to dinner, we party a little bit. Yeah, maybe. We had fun. And then I was like, good. And then after that, my best one last month was about $1,500. Woo! Yeah. Usually I make $500 to $700 a month, but it is. So last year I made a little over 10,000, about 10,500. Not all, to me it's a lot. If I have 3 car bills, it pays all my car bills every month. And to me it's just freedom to, my wife and I every weekend I like to travel. I don't work Saturdays anymore. So every Saturday we pick a little town, an hour to 2 hours away. My wife and I, we spend the day together. Drive out and travel. And I let her pick a little something and she buys something she wants. And we spend time, that's our together time. And she knows I work my ass off during the week. Don't bug me during the week because I'm working. And then during the Saturday, this is she tells me, if it's between 8:30 and 5 is my office time. Don't come to my office, you don't bug me. Drink your lunch if you want, that's it. Other than that, it better be business you come to talk to me because I'm on my phone and calling and working. And if you need time after 5, you come talk to me and if I'm on the phone, we can talk. Other than that, we're working. If you're not going to do, if you do the work, it does start. Like you said, that makes sense. It frees up your life. I don't have to work weekends. I haven't done an open house on the weekend in like a year and a half. Woo! I'm just like, open houses are great. I don't have to do them. Yeah, love it. I love it. Let's leave it at this. In 2004, Mark Zuckerberg invited 5 people to his Harvard dorm room to discuss a business opportunity. We all know Facebook. Only 2 showed up, and they got invested in Mossy, which is now with 4.7 billion with me. And Arnold Separate is now with 9.6 billion with me. What it does is those other 3 of us. Nothing is more expensive than a closed mind. That's why when I started the presentation, hey guys, for our special guests, have an open mind that you never know that this opportunity could change your life, right? I know those are big words and change your life, life changing. But hopefully, as you can see through these testimonials, that these agents' lives have been changed by eXp, by a real estate brokerage firm and a model has changed your life. It's weird, it's unheard of. I never would have thought that eXp, a brokerage firm, would change my life just by selling real estate, just by being a part of it, just by growing it, just by being here and having fun, right? Not bad at all. So I talk to a lot of agents, of course. We all, and I'm always on 3-way phone calls, conference calls, talking to agents, meeting with agents. Like, Raul, one of my good agents, we were talking on the phone last night for 30, 45 minutes at 8:30 after we cooked dinner and had dinner. Talking to him about kind of my story and what I'm doing, and I wanted him to be my special guest today. I just share the model with other agents because I want to help him get there. I want to help him grow. He's been very successful in his career, but now he's starting to do real estate. And I want to help him with the power of eXp to show him, what it's doing for a lot of our other agents, right? And so I always tell the agents, they kind of look at me like, well, Pat,
I'm at a, mom and pop shop, I'm 90-10 split with a $13,000 cap. Why would I go to eXp and have an 80-20 split with a $16,000 cap? It just doesn't make financial sense to go over there for more. I get it, my numbers are numbers. But I tell them, let me help you build some revenue share. Let me help you get that money back and get more. And they said, well, let me hear your numbers. Well, how have you done it? I said, sure. So I joined December of 2015. So my first full year was 2016. I paid in $16,000 eXp for my cap. eXp paid me back $27,000 in revenue share. So no, it's not bad. My first revenue share check was $67.99. I thought that was, this works, right? So 2017, I paid in 16 for my cap. eXp paid me back $189,000 in revenue share. Yeah, it gets better. 2018, I paid in 16 for my cap. eXp paid me back $502,000 in revenue share. Wow, this works. In 2019, I paid in 16 for my cap. eXp paid me back $757,000 in revenue share.
Damn.
All right, 2020, I want to hit $1 million. I paid in $16,000 for my cap. eXp paid me back $1.1 million in revenue share. Last year, 2021, I paid in $16,000 for my cap. eXp paid me, I was $25,000 short than hitting $1.5 million. I can't go to Century 21. I can't go to Coldwell Banker. I can't go to Remax. I can't go to Keller Williams, Cooper Sotheby's, Better Homes and Gardens, all great companies out there, and do what I've done, built what I've built, because they don't have the model. That's why I say life changing. That's changed my life. I now have an exit strategy for myself and for my family, right? I never have to sell a house ever again if I don't ever want to, right? I call Andy, I'm like, where are you at? What city? What town? Where are you at? Like, family, I don't even know where he's at. But he's got the time freedom and financial freedom. Now, as a realtor, 5 years ago, you would have asked him that. I know exactly where I'd find him, at his office. That's exactly where he would have been. I met him over there several times, right? And now, eXp set him free, right? And that's what eXp is doing. I want to bring in my good friend, Wow, Lillie. I'll tell you what, if you guys aren't excited, she's going to get you guys excited. So let's give it up for Wow, Lillie.
Hey, I love coming here, and like I said, I'm wildly handy. And how did I come up with it? Well, I was a wild child, right? The smallest of the, well, not the smallest, so kind of tall one, but the youngest of 7 in a little town of Southern Mercedes. And by the time I was 30, I had 30 jobs. So I like to work. Okay, I'm a workaholic. I try different things, see what's going to work. And so I'm a retired engineer, electrical engineer, so kind of like Andrew, okay, I'm into numbers and calculating, but I'm not the expert like Kyle Hendy here, man. He's got some awesome spreadsheets. Awesome spreadsheets, and I love his. But I tell you what, these individuals here are examples, right? So I ended up becoming an investor. My ex-husband and I, we had a triple joint venture with a German company, humongous company, Japanese company. I traveled many countries. Okay, so I'm a little worldly, but I moved back home to Mercedes, and I'm like, man, never say never, right? Well, I did. Well, it wasn't for me anymore. Okay, so I relocated to San Antonio. One thing about that is I was with Keller Williams for 6.5 years. So I got out of the real estate business and became an investor. And then I had clients say, a friend say, hey, Lillie, go back into real estate and start representing my sons. You can sell this whole subdivision. So I did that. So in my second year at Keller Williams in the Valley, I sold 102 properties. I only made $2.5 million. Okay, I have a student I tutor. I like to help. I have 2 YouTube channels, right? I'm always learning. And that's one thing I'm going to emphasize is never stop learning. Always keep learning. If you don't feed your mind, you're not going to grow. If you want to grow, you got to feed it. And get rid of the naysayers. We used to listen too much to. Okay, my parents, the church, friends. So you know what? One of my quotes, Zillow killer, we have Friday is get rid of the naysayers. And that used to be really hard. But I've gotten rid of some of those individuals. Why? Because they put us down. It takes one negative person to take us down, right? But it takes a whole bunch to take us up. And I've been through some really low times, okay? To the point where I don't want to be here, all right? But brothers always say, hey, little sister, you always get up. You always stand up and you keep going. And you know what? You're right. So 6.5 years with Keller Williams, I have drank the Kool-Aid, and I'm like, I'm never leaving. Never say never, right? Well, COVID hit, no more open houses, no more office, and my profit share with KW went from $1,400 to $2 a month. And I'm like, hell, man, I love multiple streams of income. Investing, my engineering job, rent, commission, making money on the internet, which I didn't have. That's going to happen now with YouTube. So when that happened, and I was attracting also at Keller Williams, I had up to 20 people, and they started dropping off. And I'm like, man, why the hell are they going? 70-30 split with a 6% franchise fee? Hell, that's 36%. Right? And so Kyle Nevy, I met him a year and a half before I joined, through another gentleman. Right? I was at Keller Williams doing presentations to my students, helping them pass the real estate license. I've been doing that for over 8 years, and that's how I attract also the eXp. And Kyle was talking about it, the numbers and all this and that. And my thing was, okay, how does the rev share work? And he said, well, they have to produce so much before you get paid. And I'm like, over here, man, I can get paid as soon as they produce, right? So I was up to $8,000 a year with profit share. Well, that got down. It's back up again. I still get profit share. I'm not letting that go. I pay my $25 every January so I can still get my profit share. Because why? I work my ass off. And how do we do it? Coming from contribution. Help somebody else and you will get what you want. So when COVID hit, I kind of said, okay, I got to come. And Adrian Dawson was my sponsor, but he left and said, okay, Kyle, we got on Zoom call, we got a meeting, and I said, okay, I like the numbers, and I can still attract. It might take a little bit longer, but you know what? eXp did not lose a beat. Virtual, office, cloud-based, everything was there. As we saw, we go to eXp World, right? And we can get an answer, broker, accounting, transaction coordinators, you name it, it's there, sat. A lot of people go, oh man, I want a brick and mortar office. But you've been working at home. 75% of the population now work at home after COVID, right? So get with the picture. So I finally joined June 1st. And the students that I keep attracting, I've attracted 5 with my YouTube channel. I love Keller Williams, don't take me wrong. I learned a lot from Keller Williams. Because of them, I started doing videos. And I hired my coach, Zillow Killer. But you know what, here at eXp, I don't have to hire any coaches. I was on an awesome Zoom call this morning that Pat brought, Bob Mangle, and I got to meet him in person and have dinner with him. Hey, I never did that. I went to Cabo, the first convention last year, and I was in the back and I couldn't hear. So I'm like, man, I'm gonna keep going to the front, till I finally got to the front. And guess who had a seat available next to him? Cliff Sanford. So when everybody was standing up, I went over there and said, sir, Mr. Sanford, may I have this chair? Absolutely. My first event with eXp. I sat next to the founder. I met Bob Mangle. I met Brent Go. I met Grant and Elena Cardone. I met a whole bunch of other successful realtors throughout the nation. And beginners like me. I almost gave real estate up because I was a numbers 10 person. And people would say, you're not going to be here. You're not a leopard, you're not a buying agent type. But we keep going. We keep persisting. And I'm rubbing elbows with individuals like Pat, like Kyle, okay, Greg, Andrew, Lozano brothers, okay? The Property Hermanos. I get referrals from them. I speak Spanish. So why do I come here? Because of the energy we get, the people we interact with, the way we help each other. Free coaching. You don't get that? I used to pay for coaching. Don't get it now. So my YouTube channel now, which I do, twice a week, I have 2 channels. That has attracted already 5 young people, okay, to eXp. So I'm up to 11, and I started attracting last year. So my reps are still small because they're all beginners. okay? But I like to help them, and I send them to Andrew, and they learn, and I try to learn it. So I focus more on what? Growing through revenue share, multiple streams of income, right? Look at all the challenges Kyle had. Being a broker and what? You're broke, right? And investing and flipping houses, which I've done. Not no more, at least not yet. So I'm looking for the long term. Look through the forest. Don't think about, oh man, I gotta pay $85. Yeah, I gotta fight this for, well, you know, so then you're into a business. This is your business. To make money in your business, you gotta spend money. And Bob Mango stressed that this morning massively. We have to spend money to make money. And I was afraid of it. That's why now I got a coach, or YouTube, and all these other things, but I get all this free here. So, you know what, guys, for those of you that are here and haven't joined, don't wait a year and a half like I did. Okay, I could be further ahead. However, I'm inspired, I'm energized, I'm constantly learning. You know, Kyle has weekly meetings, okay, online on Zoom. I attend them. You know, Pat does and others. So don't waste that time and opportunity. You will grow. Woo!
You guys were excited before. She gets me excited. Love it. Great job. Love it. So proud of you. All right, guys, so that is the presentation. If you guys are interested, again, you're the person that invited you. We did fill out an application, sign your ICA agreement, and then again, if and whenever you're ready, you can transfer your license over. Of course, depending on state you're in, most likely all you guys are in Texas, and then you become a shareholder and become part of the eXp family. So, guys, that is the presentation. And again, I don't think we have anybody here from Envision Title, though, but they are the drink sponsors. They're going to be paying for a few cocktails, and you guys are going to stick around and have some cocktails. They're locally owned by Nate Schrader, who's the #1 eXp team leader here in San Antonio. Him and his wife own Envision Title. They opened up their office. That's where Andrew does his training. Beautiful office, and I hear that they just got an amazing, huge flat screen TV for the trainings to make it even better. So they're here to support us, and we'll support them. So if you're a new agent looking to build your team, look no further than Envision Title. And guys, that is the presentation. Again, we're here every single Friday. Come back, invite your friends, come back, check it out again. If you have any questions, we'll be around here for about the next hour or so. But I just want to say thank you. Thank you guys so much for coming. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. And let's have a lot of fun. Let's grow some businesses.
Thank you, guys. Y'all come back now. Thank you. I love it.